Hi. We're live.
Yay.
And welcome to Wine Chats with Bildo and Lindalin. My name is Billy Milovanovic, aka Bildo.
Were you waiting for me to stop playing with my mic because it was making noises? Okay.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I didn't even realize that you were doing that. Maybe we should start again because you were making noises.
Nope. My name's Lindsay Kirkwood, also known as Lindalin.
Hi, Tom.
Oh, Tom.
Welcome.
Tom, can you just say that I was right and Billy was wrong regarding how far away the mics could be?
I shouldn't have told her, Tom. I should not have said anything. I should have just... Yeah. I do think there's going to be more of an echo, but we will test that, so it's fine. Yeah, actually, Tom's suggestion was to test it first.
Oh, yeah.
And then go back to doing what we were normally doing to make sure that it's all good.
So why didn't we do that?
Well, I forgot.
Yeah, naughty. Because we did have a little bit of a disagreement when we first got them about how far away these particular mics could be.
Yeah, because I think it still sounds better when we're closer, but anyway.
Tom, the expert, said no.
Moving on.
Oh, God. See, this is an insight. We have a doozy of a topic.
Yeah. Well, Lindsay, what are we talking about today?
No, do your little...
yes.
Our sweet little podcast.
She did half of it. So this is our sweet little podcast where we drink wine and chat life. And today is no different because we are chatting...
COVID vax.
Yeah,
because, everybody's talking about the vaccine, the vaccine right now.
Yeah.
So we thought, look.
Let's do it. Let's dive in.
And Billy's in a really mood.
Well, I feel like because we've been talking about doing this topic for a long time and I came today in, I wanted to come with this attitude of, listen, let's just discuss it calmly and just talk about it because obviously there's lots of people out there with lots of different opinions, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But today I was a little bit cranky, so I feel like I'm going to be a little bit meaner about it than I intended to be.
And a little bit more one-sided opinion.
A little bit more one-sided. Okay. I don't think I'm going to be on the fence as much as I thought I would be. So.
Oh, dear. Okay. Well,
let's drink first, I think.
Let's drink. Today's a bit of a sad day.
Oh, I know.
Wine-wise. Because this is our last Sirromet Winery bottle from their Granite range. Look, with me pronouncing Vermentino.
Yeah.
Vermentino.
I'll take that.
Yeah. 2020.
Yeah.
It's super cold. Because we know how Billy gets when same with me, when her white wine is not icy cold.
Yeah.
So before we crack the bottle, so my little fun fact has nothing to do with this type of wine. I was looking.
Well, thank you for that. Right. Shall we move on?
I was trying to find a fun fact for it, and it was just all boring stuff France, Corsica, Italy,
which is
Rome,
boring
blah,
to
blah, blah.
People who might know it. I know nothing about this wine, but go on.
It was just whatever. But throughout,
wow,
I was like, well, that's not really fun or interesting.
More great information coming out of it.
Maybe my fun fact is not very fun at all. No, I found out, and I'm actually really rather embarrassed that I did not know this. Okay. Anybody that is listening that is an actual wine person, and maybe even not a wine person, you might just be better than me. I found out, do you know what wine pearls are?
No.
Now, I knew you wouldn't, but I was glad
I know what beer pearls are.
Ew. Beer?
No, I don't know.
I'm I don't think those are a thing.
No, not a thing.
Fun fact is, wine pearls are like these little stainless steel pearls. Although it doesn't really look like a pearl because isn't a pearl totally round? These things are more like a ovally, bullet-y type shape.
Okay.
So they're filled with stuff that freezes. You put them in your freezer and you put them in your wine to keep the wine cold. But it doesn't distort the taste, right? Like if you put an ice cube in your wine, it's going to ruin the taste. It's going to water it down. So these things, it's like those gin cubes. You know?
Yes, I was going to say this.
Cubes?
Yes.
Yeah. So my fun fact, if you want your wine to stay super cold, especially in Australia, it's coming up to summertime, I'm going to get me some. Bunnings sells them.
I was going to say, where do you buy these, Linny?
Bunnings. Howard's storage place.
No way, I've never heard of that. And that's actually genius. Even your beer, that would be a good thing to keep beer cold because, again, you can't put ice in it.
No.
Wow. Linny, thank you for that life-changing information.
Seriously, I was like, oh my God.
No, it actually is kind of life-changing. Let's do it.
Let's drink.
Let's drink before we start ripping into people.
Pour you a big one because I think
Thank
you might
you.
need.
Well, I think I might need it on my empty stomach. So as this episode progresses, things are going to get more and more interesting, I feel.
Oh, dear.
Now, reminding everybody that we're recording this live on Instagram, and there will be people joining us, I'm sure. So if we are reading comments or something's coming out of left field, it's probably because we're looking at it on Instagram. Also, a reminder to join us on Thursdays, Brisbane time, midday. So join us for fun, interactive episode recordings. People,
Wow.
let's do it.
Good job, Bill.
Cheers. Let's drink.
It's a nice light color.
Okay, I want to drink. I want to smell it first.
Yeah. Oh, smell it, Billy.
I'm so new to this wine world.
Well, it looks very like enticing, doesn't it?
It does
like,
look
nice
enticing.
And
The color is very like, it's very like light.
I feel like we say this all the time about white wines, but I can't get enough of it. Like when it sees, Jesus Christ, when it looks so clear and refreshing and crisp, like it just, ooh.
Yes, I agree. When they are a bit yellowy, it's a bit strange, isn't it? Okay.
A bit off-putting. This is not off-putting.
This is not off-putting. This is delicious. Actually, this doesn't have that. Okay, I have no words to describe these things because I'm obviously not a wine person. But there's no like bite. No. You know how normally there's like a bite to wine?
Especially white wine.
Like especially white wine. This is very, you could guzzle this and you would not.
I'm a little bit taken back because when I was reading about, trying to find my fun fact, I was reading about different, what is
delicious.
It? Tasting
wines?
Notes. No. Tasting notes that you get from a Vermentino.
Right.
Wow. I was not expecting something so light.
I wonder if the Vermentino has anything, like if it's like a cousin to the Verdelho. Because I feel like last time I was in Sirromet, I had a Verdelho there. And it's just like that, like it doesn't have that bite to it. It's a really beautiful, smooth wine to drink.
I wonder if they forgot to put the alcohol in here because really, like, this is...
It does taste like wine without alcohol, doesn't it? It's actually a bit dangerous. Again, I'll give me about 10, 15 and let me know. I'll let you know if it's got alcohol in it because...
Just the flavor, like the taste of it.
Are you going to tell us the stuff that's on the back of the bottle?
Sure. Yeah,
I want to know what this, like, what am I supposed to expect? Because it's not, this is the thing, it's not fruity, it's not floral. There's no cigar in it.
Exquisite.
Oh God, here we go. She's on fire.
Exquisite whiffs of pink. I don't know why I'm laughing at whiffs.
12?
I don't know. Exquisite. Fuck me.
Oh
whiffs of pink grapefruit and lemonade bush. Lemonade bush? What's that? Okay. Appear through a bouquet of fresh flowers. Zippy, snappy, fresh citrus fruit explode on the palate with a flush of seamless acidity. Seamless acidity.
Seamless acidity, lack of acidity. That's it. There's no acidity to it. It's actually quite...
It's crazy.
And in all honesty, I'm probably not getting the like citrus or any, like there's no bite to it whatsoever.
No.
It really just tastes like...
water with some crushed grapes.
Yeah. Which is dangerous. It's delicious. It's not
So
it's
good.
not bad. I feel like that makes it sound like it's not great, but...
No, I can just
it's
see,
just,
like, come summer,
like
this chugging this back with my wine pearls in it. Urgh.
I also think this is an excellent entry-level wine.
Oh.
For people who don't drink white wine, or wine for that matter.
Totally, because it's light and easy to drink.
Great, easy place to start. Don't touch the stuff. I know. Don't touch the equipment.
Stop.
She is now the IT person in this.
Oh, see, I told you she was in a mood. Okay, Bill.
Who would like to kickstart this?
Look, I'm going to kickstart it.
I like it when you kickstart.
Shit.
Go on.
Because this...
What are we talking about?
Topic,
Go on.
I said COVID vax.
But like what? Yeah, go on. How do we start this?
I'm just going to read off some, and I'm going to apologize now. I am going to read a lot of the stuff that I talk about.
Totally.
Just to make sure we're quoting things properly. So, well, first of all, I'm pro-vaccine, like for any type of vaccine, definitely pro-COVID vaccine. But I thought, let's just start out with some facts.
Let's do it, Linny.
Facts in our world. Some people will disagree with these facts. All of the stuff that I've made note of are from like, it's not from the Courier Mail or like something stupid like that.
Or Facebook.
No offense. Or Facebook.
Yep.
Like medical places and scientists and doctors and whatever.
Right.
Okay. Are you done?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yep. So approximately 9%, which is 684 million people of the world's population, is affected annually with the flu. Now, I'm starting out with this because everybody talks about, like, compares COVID with the flu, right? So with up to 1 billion infections, okay? 3 to 5 million severe cases, 300,000 to 500,000 deaths a year.
300, okay, yeah.
300 to 500,000 deaths a year.
Okay.
Sounds
but just
crazy.
normal flu, yeah.
Just normal flu.
Sure.
As of August 13th of this year, there were around 206 million global cases of COVID. Around 185 million people have recovered from the disease and over 4.3 million deaths.
Okay. So that's roughly 9 times the amount of the usual flu. I did that math really quickly, people.
Well, maybe not quite, but somewhere around there.
Up to 500,000 people die of the flu annually, and this is 4.5 million.
8 times-ish. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people would disagree with those facts, right? A lot of people think that those are made up numbers.
Right.
And just out of, like, for shits and giggles, the world's worst pandemic was recorded. Do you know what it would be? The world's worst pandemic?
Look, no, I don't know for a fact, but I would say something like the Spanish influenza has been thrown around a bit. That was at the beginning of last century. So no, I don't know. That's pretty much the only one I could name. Ebola was another pandemic I know about.
The Black Plague.
But yeah, okay.
So it killed.
Oh my God, the Black Plague people.
Yeah. Killed 75 to 200 million people. And that was back in like the 1300s, just for comparative, whatever. So I just thought, like, because I wanted to know, because everybody's saying, oh, it's just like the flu, just let it run its course.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of similarities, but the flu is controlled now. The flu's under control. It's not happening, like what you said, it's not happening everywhere in the world at the same time anymore. Yeah. Right? Like it's... Yeah.
Well, what you actually said. No, Lenny, you said it.
Oh, did I?
That it's globally at the same time, people.
Yeah.
It's not like in Australian winter, fine, we get the flu. That doesn't mean that people in Spain are getting the flu at the same time because it's not their fucking winter.
Right.
You know what I mean? So obviously, like, it's seasonal. The flu is seasonal. This shit ain't seasonal. This is here to stay, and it's not leaving.
If it's here to stay.
Well, it will be if anti-vaxxers have anything to do with it. Like, it just seems like you guys don't want this to go away. I don't know.
Don't put words into the mouths because that's not what they.
All right.
Oh, stop.
I know. Let's not offend anybody. God forbid.
Right. Okay. But this is the other thing that I always want to say, because I'm always really baffled and bewildered when I read things on Facebook and social media about people's thought process.
Yeah.
When they're totally against it and stuff. But like, so if you get the vaccine, let's compare it to the flu vaccine. You can still get it. Yes, we know that. Because you see a lot of stuff. Oh, why get it? You can still catch it and you can still transmit it, blah, blah. Well, yes, but the chances are so significantly
lower.
And chances of dying are pretty freaking slim, right?
Yeah.
But I just, like, a lot of these people don't believe in that. They don't think that.
No.
Right? But if anybody's listening or whatever, let us know, like, where do you get your information?
And this is my big thing. Like, where are you getting this information? Like, I kind of feel like, look, Lindsay and I, we had a bit of a chat before we obviously started recording this episode. It is really difficult for us to come here bearing facts when we are so uneducated about medicine. It is really all research, all reading stats, or any of that. It's really hard when, like, we asked a few questions on on Instagram and Facebook, actually. We put up a few things in our stories and stuff, just even asking, like, where are you getting your information and stuff like that. And we got a bunch of Facebook posts, a bunch of, things that I feel like is misinformation, because it's not from people who have studied this and this particular thing at such length.
They haven't dedicated their lives.
They haven't dedicated their lives not only to, I think it's virology, but also then to, well, you know, like viruses and shit like that. So not only have you not dedicated your lives to that because you're a regular person like we are, but like you don't know how to read the information that is presented to us. You know, like people don't know how to read research. You literally don't know how to read it.
Well, I don't know if they don't know how to read it.
But you can't, no. What I'm saying is you don't know how to read it and then put it into the right context. You can't just take one piece of information out of context and say, this is why you shouldn't get the vaccine because this is what's happening.
I think they're reading different research to us, though.
How can you possibly read the research? This is my other thing. Like, how could you possibly read research that you don't, people don't know how to read this stuff. People don't know how to, do you know what I mean? Like hang on, we've got a comment and I'm just trying to read it, but it's too far away.
And our ring light like shines in our eyeballs. Billy, go.
Okay, I'm out. Ordinary flus reduce significantly as a side effect of increased social distancing, sanitizing masks, and improved personal hygiene. Okay. Yeah. So this comment, I'm going to try and read it into the microphone.
Yeah, I was going to say you're not.
It says here, ordinary flu is reduced significantly as a side effect of increased social distancing, sanitizing, masks, and improved personal hygiene.
Yeah.
Yep.
Simple.
We get it. Absolutely. Of course it makes
sense.
It makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. This is how also like COVID has been kept down in Queensland by doing all that stuff as well. Obviously, we've seen other states that have gone, nah, fuck it. We're going to live with COVID. It's fine. It's fine, guys.
I don't know if they've...
Well, I don't know. Why hasn't New South Wales done any lockdowns of like the whole of Sydney until now? You know, I don't even know if they've done it yet. And it's like...
The whole state's in lockdown.
Well, it is now, but they haven't done it up until now. I think this is the first time they've like locked the whole state down. Like whereas Queensland, obviously, we've been locked down a few times. Fine. But like lots of places have tried.
You feisty.
Oh, I just feel like lots of places have tried the thing where they're like, fuck it, we're just going to live with this. It's fine. Let's just live with it. And then their hospital systems get overwhelmed.
I think I might disagree a little bit.
Sure.
I mean, we're getting off track, but I think a bit of luck comes into play because it just sucks that the Delta variant ended up in New South Wales.
Yep.
You know, but also I don't know anything about this. I haven't looked into it, but maybe like the weather.
Is it the vitamin D, Lenny?
No. Well, maybe.
What do you mean the weather?
Well, you know, it's people typically get sicker in wintertime, right?
Right. Yeah.
Whereas we're in Queensland, even though it's our winter, the sun's shining, it's warmer.
Right. So people aren't getting as sick because it's not as cold.
Maybe. That's a whole different topic.
Yeah. Like, who knows? Again, these are not, we don't have those facts.
That's for another show. I didn't have time to Google all that stuff. Dr. Google.
But you can't possibly. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. But okay, so back to the vaccine, right? Yeah. So my very intelligent, sensible friend, Amy.
Hi, Amy. I know Amy's our smart friend. Anytime we need some help, we're like, Amy.
She's very intelligent. So she posted a great article on Facebook the other week about the vaccine, you know, and I was like, oh, if Amy's reading into this.
Must be right.
I believe everything Amy says. No, but it was actually quite eye-opening for me, whether you want to believe it or not, about like making a vaccine, right? Yep. Okay, so again, I'm going to read some of this stuff so I don't get it wrong. So under normal circumstances, making a vaccine can take up to around 8 years.
Yes, which is a big concern. Yep.
Yeah, so for some reason, that's like the number floating around out in the vaccine world, right?
Right.
So Pfizer's phase 3 trial of its COVID-19 vaccine went on for about 4 months. Pretty quick.
Yep.
Astra's went on for about 6 months. So rightfully so, people would be like, shit, I'm not taking that. Like,
yeah, absolutely. I get it.
Right? Mm-hmm. And this is why I found this article quite interesting because that's kind of, even though I'm pro-vaccine, I was like,
yes, fair enough.
But like, how is it safe? You know, like I get that, like 100%. Yeah. So most phase 3 vaccine trials, that's, here I'm reading.
Oh, here we go.
Like, well, no. I'm like, what have I written down? Yeah, so that's the big one you do before you apply to roll it out to people. Sure. Follow up for just 12 months. Okay. So even though like it's been in the system for a while, like they're just trialing it for 12 months. So really 4 months and 6 months, not too bad, really, right? Because like think of all the fucking people that have had it, that are having it.
Yeah.
We don't have to wait for all these people to like either get the disease or like the placebo effect. You know how they give the vaccine to the placebo or whatever? Look, I'm not making my point very, very well, am I? Because
you keep reading, Lenny. Keep reading.
Look, okay, so maybe this will clear it up. Other vax trials take longer as they need to capture enough infections in the placebo group to be sure a vaccine is working.
Right.
That is not a problem considering we're testing the vaccines in a fucking pandemic.
Right.
Got it? More clear, right?
Yeah.
Made my point a little bit better.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Where's your fucking facts?
I know, I got nothing.
Did you do any research?
No, I just came here really fired up at everybody. Look,
dissing my, yes. Well, watch the mic.
Wow. Did you have anything else to read while I pull up my facts?
Well, I have lots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look, I have a little bit of...
Well,
anti-vaxxers. Anti-vaxxers. Dun, dun, dun.
Yes,
no, I don't really have any actual research or facts or anything because I decided that it was too hard.
Okay, let me...
Keep going. You finish your facts.
Okay. So now we have more than a year of data for some people, right?
Okay.
And an extraordinary... God.
Can research, can't speak.
Right? So 4.18 billion doses of vaccines administered worldwide.
Okay.
So think of that data.
Okay, yep.
Right? So they're saying
yep.
That's a shit ton of...
A shit ton.
Yeah. Okay.
Formal speak, a shit ton. Absolutely. Look, I had more of a beef with... Thank you for those facts, Lenny, because I think it's really important that one of us does their research because I obviously do not. I didn't like research back in the day. I certainly don't like it now. Certainly not about something like this. And the reason I don't do my research and trust doctors is because I feel like they've done their research.
You don't trust doctors?
No, I do trust
doctors.
doctors.
I thought you said you don't. I'm like, what?
Oh, sorry if I misspoke. Speaking of misspeaking, this is one of the things, this is my beef with anti-vaxxers. Now I'm talking about the people, and don't get this wrong. I love everybody, okay? Everybody's my friend. Everybody's cool. I'm down with everyone. Because I do have some friends who are so actually anti-vaxxers.
Anti-vaxxers or anti-COVID vaxxers? Because I feel like
true, good point.
They're kind of different category.
Good point.
Yeah.
Let's just assume that anytime we're talking about anti-vaxxers now in this episode, we're talking about COVID anti-vaxxers because obviously it's the pandemic, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Obviously the people who I'm speaking about that are anti-vaxxers have had all their shots to date. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think that my big beef is the fact that there's so much misinformation going around that really doesn't actually make sense and that people are latching onto and then spreading that misinformation to make more, it's fear-mongering, like it really, really is. For example, there was a dude, dude, I'm going to try and find him. This was at a New South Wales press conference about what's been going on and whatnot. So this is earlier in the month or last month. Right. Essentially, it was a clip of him saying 140 people are in the hospital. He gives all the age groups of the people who are currently in hospital. And at the end of that, he says all but one have been vaccinated. Only one person has had one dose. Okay, so that goes to say that all those people have been vaccinated are now in ICU and struggling with COVID, blah, blah, blah. So then obviously people are like, what the fuck? So why then get vaccinated? So this then video spread like wildfire around the anti-vaxxers saying, look at the information they're giving us. They're saying that even though people are vaccinated, they're still in the hospital, blah, 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 has formed this whole narrative around this video. Turns out about 20 minutes after that, a journalist says to him, did you misspeak and say that all these people were vaccinated but one? And he said, no. None of those people were vaccinated. Only one person in the hospital has had one dose of one of the vaccines or whatever. So stuff like that gets taken out of context so quickly and gets spread around all these anti-vaxxer sites, creating this misinformation that's out there.
Because that second part of the clip guaranteed wouldn't have been included.
Well, of course not.
Where
because
she's like, wait.
Exactly, because that's about 20 minutes down the track. Nobody, obviously, that is so easily missed if he didn't actually correct himself at the time. Yeah. So that sort of shit, I just think it seems to me like people have made up their minds that this is something that's a conspiracy that the government has created against the people, and then they look for information to back that up.
Yes, and they don't care who's saying it or what is being said as long as it proves their point. Can I just butt in? This is one thing that has baffled my mind. Yeah. So anybody that's listening, watching, whatever, that has their thoughts or answers to this, why do you guys, and I say you guys, that's rude, you guys. But why is there a thought out there that people think that the governments of the world have created this to, like, there's a conspiracy theory and there's something bigger to just a pandemic? I don't get that, because, like, I could get it if it was like, fucking North Korea or like one part of the world, but it's all over the world. So, like, let's just say it is. a government conspiracy. Like, do they have secret meetings where they're like, all right, let's create a pandemic and we're going to make all the little fuckers stay inside.
Yep.
Like, I don't get it though.
Yeah.
Like, why would they do that? If that is the case, why would all of these countries, like Canada, Australia, all these lovely countries, why would they do that? What's the point?
What is the point?
What is the point? So, like, you hear people saying that, but like, somebody please answer me. Why would the governments do that?
And this is literally
why?
I put up a Facebook post on my personal Facebook a few weeks ago now saying just that. Actually saying, okay, anti-vaxxers or people who are not about the COVID vax.
Yeah.
What is the crux of your argument? Like, what is it at the basis of your concern about what the government are doing right now in terms of rolling this out? Now, I can agree with the fact that it's been a little bit concerning. Sure. We haven't had enough vaccines in Australia to even take them. So even though people who want to take their vaccines can't, like the Pfizer is only coming in now, fine. Yeah. I can understand that there's concern about people under 60 taking AstraZeneca, considering that there's been so much information from the government saying, hey, this is not safe for people under 60, all this sort of stuff. So
it could not be safe.
It could not be safe.
May not be
That's
safe.
right.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, obviously, Henry's had 1 dose of AstraZeneca. I've had another very good friend who works in Sumi. She's in hospitals. She had that as well. No dramas with it. So obviously, what they're saying is there are risks, but the stats are low, and we're not going to go into stats because we're not doctors and we don't know how to read that shit. But what is the point? And nobody could really answer me. It turned into a debate about should you, shouldn't you? And nobody could actually say to me, this is what my actual concern is. The government is trying to take our freedom away.
Yeah. Why?
The government is trying to take your freedom away? Motherfucker, you live on the grid. You live on the grid.
Yeah.
Everything, this is how I'm going. Everything, the fact that you wear a seatbelt, that's a government mandated thing. To take off your seatbelt and die, fine.
Yeah.
Everything that you see, the things that you see on your shelves in Woolworths, that's all stuff that had to go through the government. That's all
government's
controlled.
controlling us. Exactly.
Your phone. You guys, you're worried about a COVID vaccine and people tracking you? Are you fucking serious?
Especially if you have an Apple phone, right, Billy?
If you have an Apple phone, you are definitely going to die. Seriously?
It's baffling to me. I really can't, I can understand people's skepticism about that. Yeah, whatever that word. Yeah. Made it up. You'll figure it out. About the vaccine because it is, new, whatever.
Sure.
But I don't get the whole government conspiracy thing. Can I just go back to one of my little facts that speaking of the whole new vaccine and stuff? Because so coronavirus, this was interesting to me. I didn't actually know this. Lots of people probably do though. So there's not a million, but hundreds of different coronavirus strains,
I only read
right?
that this morning. Yes.
Yeah, which I knew that, but for over 50 years, scientists have been studying the coronaviruses, right? So they already have an understanding of how it's made up, the structure and how it rolls, basically. Not medical term there. So you know what I mean? So they had all the research pretty much done. They just had to be okay, well, this is the type. It's like the flu. The flu vaccine changes because
every
the flu
year.
Strains. There's so many different strains. So they just kind of tweak it. They have all the information there, the research. They just kind of tweak it, right? So that actually made me feel better. I'm like, yeah, that's right.
I actually am so glad that you said that. But I didn't know this, and this is news to me. But obviously, it makes me feel more comfortable. Absolutely. Yeah. But again, it just goes to show that we do not understand enough about we don't understand the information that they're trying to give us. I get that there's doctors out there that are like, vitamin D will solve, COVID, go stand in the sun. And then there's ones that are like, inject saline into you, that'll save it. I don't know, I just made that up.
I did not hear that one.
I get that there's groups of doctors out there, and there's one, somebody sent us an article about a Gert Van something, he's German, and he's sprouting all this stuff about the COVID vaccine, which, by the way, when they talk about the COVID vaccine, there's so many different ones. We actually don't even know which one you're talking about. Do you know what I mean? So he's just saying the COVID vaccine isn't good for this, and that.
Whether it's Pfizer or Astra or whatever.
No idea which one it is. So the COVID vaccine isn't good for this, and that. But this product that I created, this one's good. You know what I mean? So don't send me shit, and don't try and convince me with your Facebook posts when you don't understand medicine. You are not a doctor.
Yeah.
You don't know how to read research. And I'm saying that in the sense that, you and I were literally talking about this before. If somebody says to you, yeah, but the vaccine has this, it'll give you blood clots. Okay.
I've got that coming up.
Okay.
I found
it'll give you blood clots. But what are the chances? Do a risk assessment that scientists have done for you.
I've got it right here.
Read it. What have you got?
Okay. So the rate of blood clots in the AstraZeneca vaccine is roughly 1 in every 250,000. Now, this is based for Australia. Okay. I went on to find Australian facts, which is quite similar to the UK as well, is roughly 1 in 250,000. Okay.
Right.
Chance of death if you get a blood clot is 25%.
Okay. If you get a blood clot.
If you get, not 25% of getting the blood clots.
Right. Which is, again, I've read the 25% thing.
Yeah.
And that was confusing to me because I read it as 25% chance of getting the blood clot.
No.
So again, goes to show that even information that I'm reading on news.com, I'm not ascertaining correctly.
No. It's if you get the blood clot,
right,
you then have a 25% chance of dying from them.
Okay.
The risk of getting a blood clot per year from being on the pill.
Yes.
What do you think it would be, Billy? Just for shits and giggles. We haven't talked about this. So
we haven't talked about this.
Unless if you've Googled it.
I haven't. Well, I kind of did because I read that through the research that you can get blood clots through the pill. I was on the pill for 6 years back, in the day. Yeah. Never had a concern about blood clots. I'm going to say 5%.
Well, I didn't do percentages.
I don't know. Out of people?
Yeah. So it's 1 in 2,500. So the AZ is 1 in 250,000.
Right.
Being on the pill is 1 in 2,500.
And how many women are currently taking the pill?
And that's why, and this was like a moment of mine. That's why a lot of females, like the deaths from the people that have died from the AZ, majority are females.
Yeah.
So then the TGA, which is the Therapeutic Goods Administration, has identified 93 cases of TTS, which is the blood clot thingy. No, it's thrombosis with thromboica, blah, blah, blah. Syndrome.
Nice, Lenny. Nice.
Basically, blood clots.
Okay.
So the TGA has identified 93 cases of TTS from approximately 6.8 million AstraZeneca vaccine doses. 93 cases out of 6.8 million with 6 deaths. Look, I'm not taking away from the fact that 6 people died. That's 100%. Horrible. But I would think people probably die from...
How many women die from blood clots by taking the pill?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is exactly my point. Like, I kind of feel like you get sick, you get really, really sick, and you trust the doctors enough to go to a hospital, but they're trying to prevent you from getting really, really sick. And you're like, no, dude, I read on fucking Facebook that I could die from a blood clot.
Yeah.
Like, people, please. I think it's like... If you were on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and 98% of the audience are saying pick B, and 2% of the audience are saying pick A, are you going to listen to those fuckers and lose your million?
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, look.
If you are so sick and you go to the hospital and you ask the doctors for their help, but you don't trust them to read into years and years and years of research. And exactly right, like you said, if they've already got the gist of, okay, there's a coronavirus, and then there's all these little strains, and they're basically ready to put something together for you. It's not like they started from scratch.
No, they're just tweaking it for that strain, that whatever, if that's the right term.
And sure, okay, maybe I believe that there's a conspiracy out there. People, I'm going to start my own cult one day. Of course I believe in conspiracies. I believe in pretty much, I believe that there's a smidgen of truth in pretty much anything. When there's smoke, there's fire. Fine. Okay, fine. China came up with the coronavirus. Fine. Bill Gates wants to earn a ton of money from the vaccine. Fine. Like, I get it. Sure. But that doesn't negate the fact that there's a real bad virus out there that's killing people and overrunning hospitals. And it's global. It's not just like in Australia for winter and then it's going to fuck off to, wherever for their winter. It's all across the world.
And that's the thing, like...
It's separating us. You can't go to Canada.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but the thing is, like, even if the media or these medical places that put up the stats, provide the stats, even if they are exaggerating them or if they aren't 100% factual, there's still a shit ton of evidence and like numbers to say people are dying. Like you can't take that away. Whether it's freaking 900 million people dying or 750 million dying.
And I think this has been a big point of contention as well. And again, people have sent us little, fact of this is, we had somebody send us something that said that COVID, the survival rate is 99.9997% of surviving COVID if you're under 70. That's a bullshit fact. That is a bullshit fact. I mean, I don't know what the actual fact is, but that one's bullshit. That fact sucks. But I just get really annoyed because it's not just about the fact that, I'm so angry. It's not just about the fact that people are dying. People are also getting really sick. Yeah. They're getting really sick. Like if you had the vaccine, your chances of dying are a lot less. B, your chances of actually being severely sick and having like bad like chest infections. And I read somewhere, I mean, this is all this is not a very good fact, but I read that like something in your chest starts to fuse together. That's what it does. Like it attacks bits of you that like fuse together in your lungs. So then that's why they're having all these respiratory problems. I'm not a doctor. I did not explain that correctly. I didn't use any medical jargon. This is why I trust doctors. This is exactly the point, is that we don't understand this information. You can't, I think if you have questions, go to your GP. Like ask somebody who really, you don't break your arm and go to Facebook and be like, how do I fix this?
Well, lots of people do.
Well, people off the grid do. Fine, go live off the grid. It's fine with me. Like if you choose that, no dramas. But I definitely agree. Like some of our questions, I think on Instagram as well, were like, do you agree with the travel passport or whatever?
Yes.
Vaccine passport.
Yes.
Is it going to help me travel?
Yeah. Like that one, I don't understand why people would have an issue with that.
Well, same, because people don't want to be forced into, this is the thing. My freedom is being taken away by you forcing me to have a vaccine that I don't want to take that could kill me with blood clots.
Yeah, but to go to school, kids need to be vaccinated.
To get on a plane, you have to put on a seatbelt.
Yeah, like it.
Do we just say, nah, fuck it. If you don't want to wear a seatbelt, then don't wear a seatbelt. And if the plane crashes, then survival of the fittest.
And I
like,
don't,
is that,
maybe I'm naive because I am naive, but maybe I'm a bit naive with this. Like, I don't think that the vaccine passport will be forever. I don't think it's something that they will have forever. Yeah. Because it probably won't be needed if we all fucking do the right thing, right?
I'm sure that if vaccine passports were around, with polio was around, same thing. Like, sure.
I love your tone. Same thing.
Same thing, people.
You know what I mean? I don't know, but maybe I'm naive. Even if it is around forever, if it means that you can fucking travel. I haven't seen my family since 2018. Yeah. You know, like, that's only 3 years and blah, blah, blah. But that's 3 fucking years. Like, who knows when I'll go and see them again. Totally. Or be able to go and see them again. I just think a little thing like that.
It's not a little thing. People want to be able to travel around the world. They want to be able to still come back and see their families.
Well, if you do, you'll have to get the vaccine.
Which is, again, like, do you want to go to school?
Yeah.
Get a vaccine. And I get, like, if you have some sort of, like, condition where you can't get the vaccine, like, fine. I have no problems with that. And I get that, like, we're being super duper judgy right now. I get it.
Super duper.
Super duper judgy. I get it. And again, like, I'm being super duper judgy to the people, not a specific person. Because again, like, I've literally like friends who are good friends that don't want to take the vaccine because they have their own concerns and they've done their own research. Mm-hmm. But my thing is, if you've done your own research, please don't go on, like, if you don't agree with what the government is saying, this is a difficult one because I
feel like you're about to say something that's juicy.
In the one hand, I can understand that if the government is trying to push something onto us that, like, I wouldn't agree with, that I would be out there with signs as well being like, no, I don't agree with this. It's, whatever. I get it. But but it just seems like what we were saying before, like common sense, that we want to try and get this thing under control. We've seen that it can work with the government's assistance when they say to us, hey, stay home so you don't, like, spread this thing, whatever. Like, we can see that there's things that can be done that I've lost my train of thought. I just got so passionate about what I was saying. I totally lost my train of thought.
If you'd written
That's what I have to say about that. Do you know what it is? I think this wine has alcohol in it. Okay, rappity rap. Thank you so much for being with us in this episode. I mean, if I offended you, I'm so sorry. Do I care? Not really. Not really. Because I just think do your own thing. I'm fine if you don't want to do it. Just don't tell me about it. I just don't want to hear it. Seriously, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see you sending videos about some person misspeaking and then taking it as Bible. Anyway, good day. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Wine Chats Podcast, all those places. Twitter, where else? LinkedIn.
Are you going to leave straight away? Because I don't know if I want to be around you anymore.
And that's it. Okay. Just find us. Google us. Wine Chats Podcast. It's not that hard. Go on. Okay. Go on, Linny. What have you got to say?
I'm just going to say bye and run really fast upstairs and lock Billy down in my garage because I'm afraid of you.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm afraid of myself.
You should be. Okay. We'll chat to
bye,
you next
everyone.
week.
Let's chat to it. Yeah. Go on. Right. Sorry, you do your closing because I want to go back to the comments and have a little read of what people have been saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are we doing that live or are we?
Sure.
No? Okay, well. Oh, right, for the recording. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm like, can you be more clear? We'll chat to you Oh, shit. We won't hit
Try that again. Go on.
We'll chat to you next week with a little bit more of a positive, maybe topic, Bill? Something happy?
Will we?
Maybe. I think we should.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Chat to you. Oh.
See ya.
Oh, my God.